All right, we are so excited to be able to talk with you today about STEM advising here at UNT Dallas. My name is Ashley Tynes. I'm one of the STEM advisors.
And my name is Angelina Young, and I am also a STEM advisor.
So first, if you are in attendance at this presentation for the STEM Center, if you wouldn't mind going ahead and recording your attendance by scanning the QR code on the screen, we'll give you a couple of moments to do that. All right, so today we're going to address 5 of the most common questions that we get as STEM advisors. So first, we're going to talk about who is your advisor, either Angelina or I, if you are a STEM major, and how do you meet with us? How do you schedule a meeting with us? How do you get connected with us? Then we'll talk about when will you graduate? That's a very popular question, of course. You're here for a purpose. You're here to complete your degree plan. So we'll go in depth as to how you can determine when your graduation date is. Third, we'll talk about what classes you should take. We are enrolling actively for spring and summer right now, so this is very relevant to this time of the semester. And we'll also go over the few ways that you can enroll in these courses yourself. Fourth, we will talk about what is an elective, again, another popular question, and how many are required for your specific degree plan. And then finally, we'll go over a few minor options that are popular among our STEM majors to help you pick out a minor if that's something you're interested in doing. So first, again, we're going to cover who is my advisor, again, either Angelina or I, and how do you meet with us. All right, so identifying who your assigned advisor is. So whenever you first came to UNT Dallas, after you met with an advisor, you were probably assigned to that same advisor unless you changed your major outside of STEM. So if you're still in STEM, you started in STEM, you were assigned to either Angelina or I, and you can check to see who your assigned advisor is in EAB Navigate. So when you log into EAB Navigate from your home page, you'll see your success team on the right-hand side of your screen, and you'll see your advisor listed, and we are titled advisors in the system, which is helpful. You'll also see if you have an assigned success coach, you'll see their names as well, but your advisor will be listed as an advisor. Now, meeting with us, we do have a couple of ways that you can meet with us, either in person, over the phone, or over Microsoft Teams. You can schedule an appointment. Appointments are scheduled for a variety of services that you will select for 30 minutes. Again, you can meet with us in person, over the phone, or over Microsoft Teams. And these appointments are scheduled out. So we don't do same-day appointments. You can schedule out 24 hours between the time that you schedule and when your appointment will take place, and you can schedule up to 7 calendar days in advance. Now for drop-ins are Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. You can also drop in person in our office, over the phone, or over Microsoft Teams. If you are dropping in from a remote location, so you're wanting to connect with us over the phone or over Microsoft Teams, you can do this through EAB Navigate. In person, you can ask for assistance from our front desk when you arrive at the advising office, or you can drop in before you come to the advising office through Navigate. So again, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., and Thursdays only in the evening from 5 until 7. Now, the primary difference between an appointment and drop-in, other than the fact that drop-ins are same day, appointments are scheduled in advance, is your appointment will be scheduled with your assigned advisor. Drop-ins, you will meet with the first available advisor, which may or may not be your assigned advisor. Also, it's important to note that appointments are very useful for lengthy questions, if you need forms filled out, holds removed, whereas drop-ins are for quick questions. So we said appointments were 30 minutes long, drop-ins are up to 15 minutes. And so we do have quite a few students that take advantage of our drop-in period. So we want to see as many students as possible during that time. So we limit our drop-in appointments to 15 minutes. Now, other than that, over the next few weeks on select Mondays, we will have drop-in advising available in the STEM Center in Founders Hall. So if that's more convenient to you and you want to stop by between 2 and 4:30 p.m., I will actually be facilitating those drop-in advising appointments to help you get registered for spring and summer specifically. Now, these are great because no appointment is required. So if you happen to find yourself in Founders Hall with nothing to do between 2 and 4:30 p.m. on the upcoming select Mondays, please stop by so we can get you registered for classes.
Like Ashley talked about, one of our most popular questions that we interact with on a daily basis is, when will I graduate? There are a couple things to consider when you are determining your estimated expected graduation date. So every STEM major, regardless of which one specifically, biology, IT, math, doesn't matter, every student has to meet these graduation requirements. So it is a minimum of 120 hours for a student to get a degree. And within that big umbrella, so within that 120, you have to have 42 advanced hours of classes. How you determine what is an advanced hour class versus a lower level class is if there is a 3,000 or a 4,000 in the name. So for example, a class that's required for biology majors is biology 3451 genetics. Since that is a 3,000 number course, it counts towards the advanced hours requirement. 30 hours of residency just means any class taken here at UNT Dallas. And within that 30 hours of residency, 24 hours of advanced residency, meaning classes taken here at UNT Dallas that are 3,000 or 4,000 level. So we're going to have two quick examples that I'd like to talk about real quick. So this first example is going to be a typical freshman that walks in the door, no transfer credits, starting brand new. So Jane Doe is a new freshman wanting to graduate in 4 years with no college transfer credits coming in. Jane is also not wanting to take any summer courses, but she wants to graduate within 4 years. So we talked about 120 is the magic number in order to get your degree. So if you take 120 and divide it by 4, the number of years that she wants to have her degree completed in, within an academic year, that's going to give us how many hours you must take in order to meet that 4-year goal. Since Jane does not want to take any summer courses, we're going to divide that 30 hours by 2, the number of semesters that she wants to take classes in fall and spring, and that's going to give us 15 hours. So as long as Jane takes 15 hours per long semester, meaning fall and spring, she will graduate within that expected graduation timeline of 4 years. Our next student, this example is a little bit more complicated. So we have a transfer student, John Doe. He has completed all core curriculum requirements. Core curriculum is 42 hours. It's also known as your basics. So I know he's transferring in those 42 hours. And it talks about John cannot take more than 3 classes per semester due to work obligations. So that's a common story that we hear with students here, because a lot of students are working full-time. They decide to take less than a full course load. So with John only being able to take 3 classes, which is typically going to be 9 hours, we know core curriculum is 42, like I mentioned. Those are the only classes he's transferred in. To find out how many hours John has left, first we're going to take that big number of 120 and subtract 42 hours, which is going to give us 78 hours that he has left to graduate. Since he's only taking 3 hours per semester, we're going to divide that 78 hours to tell us the number of remaining hours to complete his degree. since that's the most classes he can take per semester. So like it talks about right here, so 78 divided by 9 is going to take approximately 8.7 semesters. So with this breakdown of 9 hours, because we know he can take 9 hours per semester, that's why we're dividing the 78 hours of the total we have left to give us how many semesters it's going to take for him to finish. And so that's going to include fall, spring, and summer. Since there are 3 semesters in the academic year, we're going to take this 8.7, the number of semesters John has left, and divide by 3, the number of semesters in the academic year, and that's going to give us how many years it's going to take to complete the degree. So 8.7 divided by 3 is going to give us 2.9. We're going to round that up to 3 years since there's not 2.9 years in order to complete a degree. So I know that is kind of a more complicated situation because we're taking semesters and credit hours and changing that into how many hours, how many years it's going to take. So we kind of did that one in reverse. So depending on your particular situation, the math might be a little bit different, but this is just kind of get you thinking about, okay, if I'm taking at least 30 hours per year, that's that traditional timeline. But if I'm a transfer student and take less hours per semester than the 15, it might take me a little bit longer than I expected in order to complete my degree.
All right, so just another reason to come and visit with one of us. If you need help calculating your graduation timeline, we'd be more than happy to go through that with you. So now we're going to talk about what classes should you take, again, very relevant right now, and how do you enroll in them. So a lot of information, but very useful, again, for this time of the semester. So first off, a very valuable tool that everyone has access to is an academic advisement report. So you can find this report in your My UNT Dallas portal. When you log in, you're going to see a tile called Academic Progress. You'll be able to see this or recognize this tile because it has a pie chart that I know everyone pays close attention to. So you should already know where this tile is in your My UNT Dallas portal. Once you click on Academic Progress, you're going to have many options within the tile, and you'll want to select Academic Progress again if you're following along to actually pull up your Academic Advisement report. We also call it your degree audit. So this is your official record of your degree plan, and it's based on your catalog year. So the catalog year that was published when you first came to UNT Dallas. You are required to meet the requirements established in that catalog only. So that way you are protected from any curriculum changes that may occur after you start at UNT Dallas. You're not trying to hit a moving target that way. All right, so when you're looking at your academic progress report, you're going to see it broken down into different sections, starting with your graduation requirements. As Angelina already mentioned, you can look within your academic progress report to actually see what graduation requirements you still have remaining, as well as core curriculum, TSI, if that's relevant to you, your major requirements, and then minor or certificate requirements, if that applies to you as well. So the goal ultimately is to turn everything green. Green is good. Green means that you've satisfied the requirements. So that's a very easy visual way to determine what you still have remaining. And so you can look at the different sections to determine what percentage of classes you have remaining to satisfy a particular section. That's also very valuable so you can track your progress toward graduation. So oftentimes, especially for our transfer students, we may need to make some adjustments to your degree audit to make sure it's 100% accurate and it's displaying all of your credits correctly as you're making progress toward graduation. So you are more than welcome to contact your advisor, either Angelina or I, if you believe there is an error with your degree audit or your credits are not appearing as you believe they should. All right, so another great tool to use to determine what classes you have remaining would be a recommended course sequence, or using this tool provided by the department. So these tools were introduced during the past academic year, so 2021 to 2022. So they are only applicable to 2 catalog years at this point. So if you are adhering to 2021, 2022, or 2022, 2023, these are very valuable in helping you sequence your courses. Now, these were designed to provide you with an overview of all of the course requirements and the sequence that you should take them between fall and spring. And these were designed more for the traditional student, so more for the student who is not coming to UNT Dallas with any credit. However, if you are a transfer student, or maybe you took some courses through an early college high school program, this is still useful in helping you sequence, especially those upper division courses that may not be available every semester. So still a very valuable tool for you to look to see, okay, I think this is the best sequence for me to take these courses in so that I can be successful. And again, these were created by the departments, by the program coordinators, in collaboration with the provost office. So they are coming from the content experts who developed the curriculum for your program. So as just a note here, these are, again, great tools for you to use. But before you start enrolling in courses from your academic advisement report or using the recommended course sequence degree plan to determine what courses you should take or what courses would be best for you to take in an upcoming semester, it's always a great idea to check with your advisor to make sure that you are taking courses in the specific sequence that they need to be taken in, and that you haven't already taken one of these courses before. And so really quick, we're going to go ahead and navigate over to the web page where you can actually access the recommended course sequence plans. All right, here we go. So on the main UNT Dallas website within the Provost Office web page, you can find the section that includes all of the recommended course sequence degree plans. And just to show you an example of one, we'll go ahead and go to this academic year, and we'll just stick with the Biology Bachelor of Science. So you'll click on the appropriate academic year, and then you can go ahead and see that we have fall, spring, and if there's any summer course recommendations listed as well for years 1 through 4. Okay, so again, a valuable tool for you to look to see when you should be targeting or expected to take certain courses depending on your year in school. All right, we'll go ahead and go back to our presentation now. All right, perfect. And now we're going to go ahead and talk about the different ways that you can enroll in classes. Now, you can use these enrollment options or go through the process on your own, or your advisor can help you walk through any of these processes. The first is actually enrolling in courses from your academic advisement report. So again, going back into academic progress, looking at your academic advisement report to see what courses still remain for you to be eligible for graduation. You can click on any of the courses that you have yet to take or yet to earn credit for. And then if you click on a course and it's available during an upcoming term, you'll be able to enroll in a class section for that particular course. So this is great if you're wanting to enroll in one course at a time. Now, our second option is class search and enroll. So this is through the enrollment tile within your My UNT Dallas portal. This is also a great way for you to enroll in one course at a time, but maybe you're not wanting to enroll from your requirements, you're wanting to look for an elective, which an elective is not going to be listed within your academic advisement report. So you want to look to see, let's say, what are all of the biology course options that I have available for the upcoming semester? You can go into class search and enroll and start to type in particular biology courses that you might be interested in taking to see if they're available for an upcoming semester. So again, great for looking for classes that may not specifically be listed in your academic advisement report, but you're still enrolling in one class at a time. All right, and finally, we have the visual schedule builder. Now this is my preferred way to show students to register or how to register for classes. So this is also in the enrollment tile, and you're going to click on visual schedule builder, which will actually open up a new tab for you. Now the visual schedule builder is great because you can enroll in more than one class at a time. You can enroll in your entire schedule at one time. And the visual schedule builder allows you to search for classes by prefix, by course number, by class number, by the instructor's name. If you have a particular instructor, you're wanting to see if they are offering specific courses or any courses in an upcoming term, you can search by their name as well. You can search by the course topic. So if you are planning to take let's say digital logic in a term, but you're not certain of the course number, you can go ahead and type in digital logic and it will pull up any courses that match with that particular name. And so after you have selected all of the courses that you would like to enroll in, it's going to allow you to visually see your schedule. So if you are a visual person who likes to see, okay, I'm going to be in class in person on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I want to make sure there are no classes on Tuesday, Thursday. This gives you the option to look at your schedule visually before you enroll in classes. You don't have to take out a scratch sheet of paper and write out Monday through Friday and make sure you don't have any time conflicts before you enroll in classes. This is going to take that middleman or that paper out of the equation and allow you to actually look at your schedule and pick out days and times that work best for you before you enroll. So again, a great way to put together schedules. This is also a valuable tool for you to use before you come to meet with your advisor. If you have a couple of courses picked out, you can go ahead and add them to a schedule that you are proposing that you would like to enroll in and save it as a favorite. And whenever you meet with your advisor, you can pull up that favorite and say, this is what I was thinking, this would work with my schedule, with my outside responsibilities, and your advisor can just review your selections with you before you enroll. All right, lastly, so I want to go ahead and touch on multi-term enrollment. This is a somewhat new option for students at UNT Dallas. So this service allows students to enroll in an entire academic year at one time. So every April, our schedule for the next academic year is made available. And if you are a current student at that time, you could go ahead and register for fall, spring, and summer. And at this point in the semester, if you are only enrolled for fall, you can already enroll for spring and summer of next year. And what this does is it allows you to create a pathway for yourself to see, okay, at the end of this academic year, I am going to hit my target of 15 hours a semester, or I know I'm going to be this far in my academic progress because I will have completed X, Y, and Z courses by the end of the academic year. If you are receiving a scholarship, it allows you to make sure that you are enrolled in the number of courses needed for renewal for the next academic year. And it also gives you access, of course, to the schedules for upcoming semesters, which if you have transferred to us from another institution, you know how valuable it is to know what courses are being offered in future semesters. So one item that we want to make sure we clarify for you is that if you choose to take advantage of this service, again, it's not required, but it is valuable. You do not have to pay or you will not be charged for all of your courses at one time. So let's say you go ahead and register now for spring and summer for next year. The billing cycles for each period are separate. So you will receive a bill for spring right before spring starts, and then summer right before summer starts. The advantage, again, for registering now is to have that pathway so that you know what courses you're completing this academic year. And also, because we know classes start to fill up as we get closer to the start of a new term, you're going to go ahead and get a seat in those classes, which again is very valuable. But you can do so without fear of being charged up front. The billing cycles are always going to remain separate, so you don't have to worry about having to pay for all of those classes at one time.
Which brings us to our next question. What is an elective and how many are required for my major? Simple definition of what is an elective. It is a class you select based on major, an area of interest, or future career plans. So within some of the majors that we have, like specifically biology, there are major electives, but there's also a couple of general electives outside of your major. So a general elective is courses that count toward the total credits needed for graduation. Again, that magic number of 120 hours. So if you need to take general electives in order to meet that 120, Ashley and I have a lot of different examples that we recommend to students. So if you need a little bit of guidance on those general electives, we'll be happy to help you out with that. And the major electives are classes that are needed to complete your major requirements. So as I was saying with the biology major, it has 12 hours of major specific electives. So these are going to be any biology class that isn't already listed on your degree requirements. These are the biology classes that you have the opportunity to pick versus the biology core, for instance. Determining the number of required electives. So we've talked about using your degree audit or your academic progress report. We've talked about using the recommended course sequence, but there's also another tool that's available to you known as the catalog. So the catalog is the official list of classes that determine what makes up your degree plan. So this is an example of the biology BS degree plan. And so I talked about some of these graduation requirements. We know some of the majors that already have hours that are built in. So some of those majors that we have do not have all of the 120 hours built in, all of the 42 advanced hours built in. So to show you an example, we're going to break down the math of this particular degree plan. So we're starting out, we know Texas core curriculum is 42 hours. So I'm going to go ahead and write 42 because we know that's a requirement needed in order to graduate. So 42 for core curriculum. And then the next section, major requirements, is 24 hours. So if we add that, that's going to give us, we're at 66 hours now. And then if we look at the next section, supporting science requirements is 27 hours. So that's going to give us 93. So we're currently at 93 hours. And then with the major electives, that's going to give us 12 more hours. So that puts us at 105 hours total. And so for electives that are needed outside of this total, we would take 120, subtract the 105, and that's going to give us 15 hours of electives. Now, we also have to take into consideration the 42 advanced hours requirement. So you would go in, look at any class with a 3,000 or a 4,000. Notice that there's a blue link for each class. So for example, let's click on animal physiology to see how many credit hours that class is. So since it's a 3 credit hour class, as you're going in, you're going to count how many of those advanced hour courses are already built in. And within the particular degree plan, I know that 36 off the top of my head is built into this major. So we know we have 15 hours of electives, but within this 15 hours, 6 of those have to be advanced hour courses in order to meet the 42-hour graduation requirement. So catalog is another tool that is available to you, so you can see some of these graduation requirements, what classes in one list specifically that you have to take for the major, in the different sections of your degree plan, how many hours are accounted for in each of those sections.
All right, so that brings us to choosing a minor. So in the example that Angelina just gave, thank you for that, perfect. We didn't know we were going to be doing so much math today. So we see that 15 hours of electives are needed so that you would be eligible for graduation in this example. And so this may mean that it would be a good idea to pick out a minor. A minor is going to be a secondary field of study. This can be related to maybe a career plan, or it may be something that's going to help supplement your major field of study. So a lot of different options in terms of minors that you can select from. Most of the minors are going to consist of at least 18 hours of classes, and you can add up to 2 minors to your degree plan. Now, a lot of our minors do have overlap with the major requirement. So that means we may see a little bit of overlap with what you pick for biology in our example. So it may give you the exact 15 hours needed to be eligible for graduation. Now, we do have a list of recommended major and minor combinations. This is based off of Angelina and I and what we see with our students and what they most often select. So for biology, both the Bachelor of Arts with or without the teaching certification or the BS, we see business analytics, chemistry, forensics, management, psychology, sociology, and Spanish. Now, some of you that are well-versed with our different schools may say, hold on, business analytics, management, those aren't a part of the School of Liberal Arts and Sciences. And that is correct. They are minors offered through our School of Business. So although your major may be in a particular school or may be offered by a particular school, you are not limited to choosing a minor or certificate from that school. So that's something too important to note as well. Now for information technology, so for our Bachelor of Arts, we often recommend business analytics, management, marketing, again, all minors offered through our School of Business, or mathematics or Spanish. You're going to see Spanish quite a bit because it's a very useful minor. Keep going. All right, so for math, both our Bachelor of Arts for students who are on the old program with the standalone BA, or the Bachelor of Arts with the secondary teacher certification, or the new Bachelor of Science program. We do often recommend business analytics, again, another common, very popular minor, computer science, or Spanish. And then for public health, both the BA and the BS, a lot of behavioral health and human services minors. So we offer, or we like to recommend human services management and leadership, marketing, nonprofit management, sociology, Spanish, or substance addictions. And you are not limited to selecting these. These are just the most common selections that we see our students make based on their interests, based on their plans, their future career plans later on. These are very common combinations that we see. All right, and Angelina is going to touch on academic certificates for us.
So aside from minors, if you have a degree plan that might have maybe 2 electives outside of that, we might recommend an academic certificate since it only requires 12 hours. And going back to the catalog as a reference of what minor or certificates, that we have available, you can kind of scroll through the catalog page to see all the different examples. So I know we've talked about the School of Business and a list of some of those minors. If having some type of background within business, especially if you're going to open up your own practice, or maybe you become an entrepreneur and you have your own IT business, might be a good area of study to get more information about, so you have that background knowledge before getting in. But there's also a credit analysis certificate. If you click on any of these examples, it's going to tell you a little bit about the certificate, what classes are required for that particular certificate. And then aside from business, actually touch base on the School of Behavioral Health and Human Services. So especially if you're looking to go into the medical profession, it might be a good idea to get one of these academic certificates, since it is based on more of that human interaction piece. So we have alternative dispute resolution, which talks about mediation, any type of conflict resolution. Applied gerontology, so that'd be working with older populations. Nonprofit management, much like the minor, if you're looking to enter the nonprofit world. Peer support specialist, so this is more group counseling and therapy, if more the social work aspect is something that you're interested in. And there's also a substance and abuse certificate as well.
And something to note really quick about certificates and minors, we often get the question from students, how will these be denoted whenever I graduate? How will they be recognized, or how will my future employer be able to see that I had a minor in chemistry or Spanish and I earned a certificate in urban farming and gardening? So your minors will be designated on your transcript. So when you graduate, you will, of course, obtain a final transcript that you'll send to future employers, future schools, and your minor will be designated there. Now, academic certificates will be designated on your transcript, and you will also receive a paper copy of the certificate signed by affiliated individuals in the department.
And that concludes our presentation. If you could take a moment to take this survey. So we provided a QR code. It's just a quick 5-minute or 5-question, survey. And so we'll go ahead and pause just for a second so that you can access the survey. And if there's any general questions, you can get in contact with Ashley or myself. So we have provided ways that you can connect with us. So if it's hard to remember how to spell our names, the easiest way to get in touch with us is maybe advising@untdallas.edu. That is our general advising email inbox that's monitored by our peer advisors, but they are really good about forwarding those concerns with student questions to us. That way we can best get connected with you and assist you. Web chat or peer chat. So that's our IM service where you're talking live to a peer advisor to, again, once more get you connected or get you scheduled for an appointment with us. We also have a phone number that's listed here, and we do have social media. So our Instagram, we usually have that for general announcements of upcoming programs. We might have a few quick tidbits. So check out our UNT Advising Instagram and our YouTube channel. If you just search UNTD Advising on YouTube, it will take you directly to our YouTube channel. And that has a lot of helpful tutorials that we've compiled to answer questions of how to read your degree audit, how to schedule an appointment with us, how do I apply for graduation. So take a minute or two to scroll through those available videos that we do have, because we have a lot of that information at your fingertips. If you're not able to schedule an appointment or we're not available to answer your question right away, you can always check out our YouTube channel. And then our campus location is in the Student Center on the 2nd floor. So it's Suite 2081, which is directly above Student Solutions. So when you walk into the Student Center, you see the Starbucks. If you keep going straight down that hall, you should see a big silver Student Solutions. And up that staircase will be found directly at the top of those stairs. And so again, my name is Angelina Young. My email, angelina.young@untdallas.edu.
And again, my name is Ashley Times, and my email address is here for you as well. We would be glad to assist you, answer any questions you have, and we hope to see you at Drop-In Advising specifically for STEM starting next Monday from 2 to 4:30 in the STEM Center in Founders Hall. And then lastly, if you didn't get to check in, this is your second reminder for the STEM Center to go ahead and check in so that attendance can be recorded. Thank you so much.